I think after a while, you do get to a point where you've just had enough of looking at sexual content and you want to change because you realize this isn't actually giving me what I really want. Like, you probably do want something. Maybe it's connection, maybe it's some sort of excitement in your life, but eventually you realize that looking at sexual content isn't really filling the void which exists. And so you end up just feeling empty after a setback. And not just that, you're feeling drained mentally. You're feeling a little bit frustrated with yourself perhaps, and maybe some shame or guilt. So what we want to do is learn how to quit porn for good. And I would say the next step after you've maybe decided to actually get rid of any sexual content on your phone and delete certain apps, the next step would be to refocus. So focus on what you actually do want in life instead of what you don't want. A lot of people, when they're trying to quit porn, they're like constantly focused on the problem, and that doesn't actually get you anywhere. If anything, it just attracts more porn into your life. If you're keeping a streak and thinking, okay, it's 4 days now, this is going to be really difficult, I'm going to try and not look at porn. If that's your way of thinking, you're probably going to end up looking at porn because you're thinking about porn. So that's how it works. And what we want to do is start to focus on something else instead. So my second tip would be to write down 6 goals. That's what I personally do anyway. Write down 6 goals which you can try and achieve today. It doesn't really matter whether you actually achieve them or not. We don't want to add another layer of shame or guilt or pressure if we don't complete these goals. But this is really just about keeping your focus somewhere else and putting your energy into something that's actually going to help you live the life you wish to live. So I highly recommend getting a journal of some sort. I have a journal here and I've just wrote down 6 goals. And my goals are like having a cold shower, tidying my flat, meditating, editing a podcast, creating a YouTube video, and attending a marketing meeting. So it's quite simple. That's just what I'll be doing today. And now that's going to keep me occupied. It's going to keep me focused on actually pursuing what I want in life, which is to build a business, help other people, to grow and become more mindful through the meditation as well. And then tomorrow I'll be writing down 6 goals again. And this is generally how I've lived my life over the last year. The most important thing with these goals is just make sure that you're writing down goals that are positive and kind of action-based, rather than things like don't go on Instagram. Don't write goals like don't go on social media, don't look at porn. If you write down a goal like that, you're just keeping your focus on what you don't want instead of what you do want. These goals have to be things which you can actually go and do. So if you want, put down, go and exercise, go to the gym, go and see a friend, and whatever thing you're maybe meant to be doing in life. If you're studying, maybe there's a particular book that you'd like to read a few pages of today. So just make it as specific as possible and then go and do whatever it is on your list. And then it feels really good to tick it off at the end of the day as well, or throughout the day, because it gives you that sense of fulfillment. It gives you kind of that sense of, I actually am moving forward in my life. And you can visually see that on a piece of paper, because often when we're on this journey of quitting porn, we get so caught up in the thing that we do wrong that we forget about all the amazing things that we do right. So you should be really proud of yourself for the things that you actually do in life, and try and focus a little bit more on that rather than the thing that perhaps you don't do as well as you would like. I know for me personally, I'm pretty terrible at not doing stuff, but I'm pretty good at doing stuff. So if you told me, don't go on social media for a week, I would find that a lot harder than if you said to me, go to the gym every day for a week. Because one is like based on an action which you actually do, and the other is based on trying to avoid something. And if you're trying to avoid something, it can be really difficult because you have certain habits in your brain. And for me personally, I've always found it harder to break bad habits than create good ones. But often the solution to breaking bad habits is actually to create good habits to create alternative ones. And so it really does work to actually just focus on what you actually want in life instead of what you don't want. This is sort of my main mantra. So I hope this video has been useful, and stay tuned for step number 3 coming very, very soon.